Hello, welcome to Learn Web3 with Colony, episode 8, 7, I don't know anymore, 7 or 8, doesn't really matter. Today we talk about routes, pages in Next.js, and securing these routes with authorization and authentication schemes. Just a little bit of housekeeping in the beginning. We have a repository which is join colony learn-web3, where you will find all of the code and some notes for the previous lessons. You can watch the previous lessons on YouTube. There's a link here on Learn Web3. If I go to the main page of this, there's a past episodes link which will take you to YouTube, to a playlist that I made, and there we can see what episode this is. And it is number 7. Okay, cool. So today is going to be a little bit of a short video. We are going to look at routes. Well, I mean, I hope it's going to be a bit shorter. I guess we'll see, but I have a hard cap in 1.5 hours, so let's see how far we can get. Today we want to look at pages and routes in Next.js for our app. Let's look at these beautiful mockups that I created. So what we want to have is at least these 4 pages, which is missions, and then the colony address, missions, colony address, and then the ID of the mission, then missions colony address, and we want to create one, and then missions colony address, ID, and then apply for one. I also think we probably need one for editing, but that can come later. As soon as we know how to do the create one or the apply one, then we can also do the edit one. Okay, that's basically what we want to create, and we want to create the routes first, and then we get to providing some content for the pages. Maybe I guess we'll see where we go. First of all, let's go to what we have. npm run dev, I think, is the URL, and then we can. This is still not working. I have to fix this, but that's not our concern right now. Where is? Oh, it's here. There we go. And you can see the authentication still works. User is logged in, they're admin. That doesn't mean they're connected with MetaMask though. Again, it's a different thing. They're just authenticated towards the server because we still have the cookie, so that's fine. But we're not connected to MetaMask. We probably would need another button for that or something, but that's can come later. Today, pages, routes, things like that. So how do we do that? Apparently, in Next.js, there's a cool naming convention for routes. Let's look at the routes that we have. So we have missions, colony address. You know what? Let's create a missions page first. So what we could do would be just to create a missions.tsx, and that would be just /missions. But because we know we will have subpages, because we know we will have subpages to that, we create a folder instead. So I think missions.tsx would just create the root localhost 3000 and then missions. And that would be then accessible. Right now it's just a 404. So actually, let's just go slow. Let's just create missions.tsx, save it, and then fill it with some content, right? Let's see, what do we have? We have like index, for example. We could use that. We could use this for. Let's just copy the whole thing. And we go to missions, we paste it. And let's put in the title missions for colony address here. And then we just remove the styles here. I feel like we probably don't want this here. We probably want this in the meta tags. Well, I don't know for now. I think we probably want this in a main section somewhere, or in a wrapping component somewhere. So let's not do that. Let's just keep the props though. I don't think we need the user, to be honest. And we can remove that, and then main text for, or let's say missions for colony address here. So as far as I'm concerned, let's say call this missions. We should now have a root called missions. Yes, magic. This is magic. This is quite nice actually. So missions for colony address here. That's nice. So this works perfectly fine. But now we want to have missions / and then the colony address 0x blah blah blah, right? So how do we do that? So I think actually I'm not really sure. I guess we'll see. So what we have to do first is create a folder called missions. I think move this into missions index.tsx, and this should still work. Yes, same thing, right? So because it's missions, but then we can say, and I think it is like this. Oh my God, was it with a colon? Let's look at the next documentation. Next.js routing. Look at that. Look, this is what we want. Yeah. So it's just address.tsx. Bloop. And let us maybe just copy the stuff from maybe here, doesn't really matter. And we call it mission because this is like, is it? No, this is colony missions. Missions for a specific colony. And then this is missions for colony address here. And the previous one, the one that is missions index, is just, I don't know what we will put here, maybe a list of all the colonies that have missions. Missions for all colonies, right? So that's that. And I guess let's see what happened. Okay, so we have missions for our colonies, and then we say missions 0x dead. Okay, missions for colony address here. Now, how do we get to address here? I have no clue. Let's find out. Does it tell us that? Do we know this? Oh, there we go. There we go. Use router. Let's do that. Import use router. So what we want to do now is we want to, this is so annoying. We want to get to this fragment here, right? And then use it within our website or within our page here to, let's say, get the missions from a database, which is probably going to come next time. So next time we do database stuff, which is going to be quite exciting. Today, we just keep it simple. Simple pages for all of this stuff. All of the different routes. So let's follow the tutorial here. Use router from next router. No semicolon. And then we can say const router equals use router. Oops. And then we can say const address equals router.query. It's a bit weird to call it query because I would call it params. Oh, we're in the wrong page. No one said anything. We need to go here in the actual colony missions, not the missions for all colonies. And get that. Perfect. And then we can say missions for colony address. Missions for colony address. Let's look at it. Nice. Missions for colony 0x dead. So we probably also want to verify that this is actually a proper, at least a proper address at some point. I think we also want to verify that this is actually a colony, or whether it has maybe already some missions or something like that. So we get to this logic later. For now, we just want to get all of these in place. Cool. Bop, bop, bop. How do we continue? So let's look at our drawing. So we have missions colony address. Cool. Missions colony address ID. This is to look at a specific mission. So we have to create that page. Now we see the problem again, or not the problem. I mean, we started simple here and we are going to continue just expanding slowly. But here we have address as a file, and that means our kind of URL stops there. We cannot go further. So what do we have to do? We have to create a directory again. We have to say, okay, we call that directory address, and again move this file to the index of that, and then nothing should have changed. Missions for colony 0x dead. Perfect. And now we can create another file called ID tsx, and that is a specific mission view. That is colony address ID, so specific mission view. And we just copy that again. And we can actually make use of a lot of this stuff. And this is just called colony mission, or let's just call it mission view to be very explicit. So now we can actually, from the router, we now get two query parameters, and that is address and ID. And the title could be view mission and then ID for colony address, and then we just do the same here. And let's look at it. For colony blah 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 with ID foo. So view mission foo for colony 0x dead. Nice. I mean, that works really perfectly. So raging through here, now we have a create file. Let's just copy everything again. We just copy it for now. We make everything pretty and diverse and nice later on. So we are still in an address, in the address folder. So we create a file called create, and we paste everything in there. Nice. And then we can say create new mission. Nice, right? So now we can go to create, and we have create new mission. Perfect. And the last one would be apply. And now we can see that, again, ID is not enough, so we have to create a folder. You know the drill. Works quite nicely also with this workflow. If you notice, oh, you need to go one level deeper, you just create this folder and rename this file, and everything is just the same. And we can see that it immediately works. I think that the specific routes are prioritized here. So because how would it know that create is not, because we didn't give it any context, how does it know that create is not really an ID? Which could be. I think the specific routes are naturally prioritized here, which makes a lot of sense. Excuse me. So, cool. What do we want? We wanted to have an apply page. Let's make that one. ID index apply.tsx. Perfect. And here we can say apply for in colony. Something like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter for now. Okay, let's see. Full apply. Nice. Works. Yeah, now we created a bunch of pages with a bunch of data. Let's rename this. Mission apply. I'm not really sure if this is really important to name this stuff, but I think it's good for us to see where we at really. Cool. So next step is to do authentication and authorization. The first thing that we have to do is kind of think about what should happen when a user wants to see a page that they're not authorized to see. Should we do just a redirect on the main page? Should we present them with a page that is like 404? This is what GitHub does, for example, if you're trying to access a private repository or things like that. Which I don't think is perfect. I think you should probably say, hey, I don't really know actually. Maybe you don't want to know. Maybe it's just like, oh, for you, what you're concerned, as far as you're concerned, this doesn't exist. Even though it is there, but maybe you just don't want to tell people that repositories exist even. So yeah, maybe let's just go down that route. Let's maybe just say we redirect to a 404 page if it's not found. And I think I read that somewhere. Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. So I think what we want to do is use this with iron session SSR, and then react to that. I think, and this is what we do in get server. How was it called? Get server side props. We wouldn't know. Index. Yeah, get server side props. This is nice, right? For example, missions should be visible to. Okay, let's go through that. Let's like what do we want to what do we want to do actually? Missions for colony address. I think, and this is kind of a call that I'm making now. Anyone might disagree. Should be visible by anyone. Same goes for whoa. Same goes for the mission view. Mission create should be only visible by admins, right? And apply should only be visible by people who have their account connected. That means they're basically logged in. Let's just simplify it. People who are logged in. Very simple. Okay. That means we'll only need this here and the create site. Missions address create. With iron session SSR, iron options. There is a way to have this be something like an alias. I think when you set up Next, they ask you, hey, do you want to set up any aliases for imports? Because I think it's really easy, especially if you go down like the whole parameter URL or the slugs, then you will really easily see that you have to do a lot of dots here, and at some point you kind of lose track. So I think this is probably what these aliases are for. But for now we don't. Like, let's just ignore that. Cool. How to proceed? So we said that this should be called create mission. We said that this page should only be visible to admins. So how do we do that? I wonder if there's a 404 redirect. So I'm not looking for this. I'm actually looking for Next.js get server side props redirect. I think you do that in get server side props. Okay, this is where I just were. I thought I read this somewhere. Why do I have to look that up? A weird page. Oh, there we go. Get server side props, return values. Props not found. Oh, this is an easy shortcut. right? Wow, this is making things really simple for us. So return, let's say, no, we do it differently. If request session user is admin, oops, return not found true. Right? I guess otherwise return props empty. Not really sure. Cool. I guess let's see. Say create new mission. Okay. Now let's log out. That is API logout. Okay, true. And then missions create. Oh, yes, because we are not logged in. But it's doing something that we want to do. So one step in the right direction. So equals, well, we can just do this in TypeScript. And we get a 404. Wow, that is rapid development, my dear people. That is nice. I like it. Cool. How do we proceed? I guess we log in and try this again. Oof. Yeah, I think that's just the same exact problem. Yeah, I mean, we are a tiny bit lazy. We're being a bit lazy here. Yeah, so it says, please use null or omit this value. Quick fix for this is just, in case it's not defined, we just return null. Not very pretty, but it works. Not logged in. Yes, exactly. How do we log in? I think there's a page for this. Log in. To log in, we need to connect first. So we are connected to MetaMask. That's nice. Then we can log in. Then we have to sign this message. Log in with Ethereum. And then we go to the main page again. Yes, user is logged in. They are an admin. So that means we can go to missions create, and we get create new mission for Colony. Beautiful. That worked. So let's look at our pages again. The last one missing is a page should be visible by people who are logged in. Okay, I mean, now we have a page that can only be seen by an admin. This should be fairly straightforward. So we go to apply. We comment out this stuff, because we're going to use it now. We get this. And I guess this is already enough. And here we have to go deeper. Probably like this. Yeah. So now we added get server-side props again. We try to get the user out of the session, and if there is no user in the session, then we just say not found. Fairly straightforward. Missions who apply. So apply for mission in Colony. So let's test it when we logged out. API log out. Cool. And then we say missions blah foo apply and page not found. I mean, I think the 404 here is probably not the best. Thing to do. I mean, we could say, hey, please log in. But I mean, I think this is also what GitHub says. It's just the messaging. They basically say, hey, this page is not found. Like if you're sure there should be something here, then you probably should be logging in or something. That we can do as well. But for now, we leave it at this. Cool. So that works. Let's log in again. Connect, log in, sign this message again. Main page, not logged in. Why not? All right. I don't know what that was. Hiccup. User is logged in. Cool. So that's something. Now we can basically say git add, and we commit saying add all needed pages. Cool. How do we proceed today? I feel like we might want to have forms. But I am not sure how I want to create this yet. I think I might want to use just a React design library for that. Just to make it simple and just have some components that we can use for forms, especially because it's a bit of a pain in the ass to kind of get all of this going. For that, I will do a little bit of research before we continue there, I mean, this is all I wanted to cover today in this short session. I'm short on time today. Tuesday is going to be longer, hopefully. But yeah, let me know if I missed anything important, or if you have any questions, just let me know. Apart from that, next time we will, I think, make these individual pages a little bit prettier, create some forms, create some nice forms for them, and on next Thursday we will be adding data. Yeah, today in 1 week we will be adding a database connection, probably what's it called? Prisma. Probably Prisma. Can look at that real quick. So it's kind of an ORM, a TypeScript ORM for like all kinds of relational or other databases, and it just works with a schema, and then it's pretty straightforward to fetch this data. And this is what we're going to do in the get server-side props. But that's next Thursday. So next time might be a little bit boring, except if you're interested in like how to create forms. Forms are always like super fun, right? Everyone loves to create forms. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done by someone sometime. So I'm probably going to do it. Apart from that, yeah, that's it for today. Again, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll leave you to it, and hopefully see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.